The other aspect of my little body trying to find peace and comfort was through food. Food, to this day is still, it's like, it's my best friend still. I still have a way to go with food addiction. Um, so raised in this environment, nobody's giving me tools to keep myself safe. They're not keeping me safe. I'm threatened everywhere I turn. So I'm a sad child. From a sad, scared child, I turn into an angry child. Now I'm having behavioral issues as well, because nobody's protecting me. I'm in a prison I can't get out of, and no one has any answers. By the time I was 12, I was put on Prozac, 12 years old. I never I didn't stick to it. I don't remember anyone really asking me if I was taking my medication. I know that I had it on me and I was supposed to take it, but I after a while, I just didn't take it. Um, and then, I became an unruly, I don't even want to call myself an unruly teenager because it's not even fair. It's just like, there's nothing wrong with me per se. It was a pretty, what could anyone expect? What could anyone expect with that kind of background in that kind of environment? But people don't look at it that way. They look at a child who's exhibiting these behaviors: school refusal, anger, outbursts, breaking things. There's just something wrong with them, like they were born this way. And that always pissed me off. Always pissed me off. I'm like, it's all of you. But the punishment goes on us, the bad kid, you know. And so things never got better. I mean, I made so many, I didn't understand what a safe person was. I didn't understand what boundaries were. Predators were just left and right taking advantage of me, because I had no example of any healthy environment, healthy people. And so I got myself in, a lot of terrible situations. And countless across 30, well, I guess from 14 to, when did I leave 2021? I don't know, 14 to 45 or 43. I can't even tell you how many times I've had sexual harassment, sexual assault. It's just couldn't count. I had children very young because I had just no control over my life. I'm dealing with crippling anxiety, crippling depression, borderline personality disorder, and then later on, bipolar disorder too, bipolar 2 disorder. And that's only half of the diagnoses I've received across, the first 4 decades. But yeah, I had kids very young in a very sick state. I wasn't going to give them up for adoption because of what I went through. I felt like I'd rather be with my dysfunctional birth family than this family, that I had been put into, and I didn't want to risk my kids getting put through any of that. But I was an abusive mom. I was crazy. My anger is unbelievable. And so did a lot of damage, to the kids. They're all in their 20s now, and they're all limping along. And that's the hardest part of this lifelong battle with mental illness, is the damage I did to my kids. And, people ask me, well, aren't you just so happy? Aren't you just so happy now that, you're not bipolar anymore? And I'm like, I'm grateful beyond belief. I mean, it's a miracle. But a mom is only as happy as their saddest child. And so, excuse me. So I'm working on it. I'm working on it, and I'm proud of everything that I have overcome. I have at least a dozen diagnoses. I've overcome the bipolar, which is an impossible feat, so they say. I've also pretty much eliminated the borderline personality disorder, which is another very, very serious disorder, very serious. I have also, I can go on all day, but these are the top three. And then BDD, body dysmorphic disorder. Any of those alone are debilitating. So to have all of this other stuff on top of it, when people I talk to get disappointed that I'm not fully healed, I'm like, but you have no idea how much, yes, I'm still struggling in certain aspects, but man, I've overcome so much. I couldn't leave my house, Casey. I spent so many weeks and months in my house wishing for a meteor to hit the earth so that everybody can go all at once, because I never want to leave my kids behind. So I'm like, can a meteor just take this whole miserable planet out? And I spent years and years and years praying for the end. So, yeah, so that's
it. That's it.
I'm going to stop there just in case you have some specific questions, but yeah, it's funny. I knew this was going to be a little bit more of an emotional week for me. But yeah, I'm open to, I'm always open. I believe vulnerability is a superpower. And when I see other people interviewing and they're sharing their keto story and how amazing their life is after their bipolar is gone because of keto, I'm happy for them, but I'm always like, I think they're leaving some stuff out. And if that's the case, it is a great disservice. It is a great disservice to people who are wanting to pursue this path. Are things really 24/7 rainbows and sunshine? Like, can we just say, well, no, sometimes I struggle here and there and that, and there's this aspect, like what I'm sharing, where there's the collateral damage. Like, why aren't we talking about that too? Because it's healing from, if you're similar to me and it's like a lifelong thing. Yeah, the metabolic piece and the cellular piece is your foundation, 100%. I don't think you can overcome anything unless you have the chemistry to overcome it. Your cells have to have the resources. Okay, so the metabolic piece is not only the diet, but other metabolic therapies. That's your foundation, 100%. But there's a lot more to it. You know, maybe some people, that's it. They just needed to get this one piece in play, and then they're able to do well. But I can't help but be a little suspicious. And so that's why I'm so honest and I'm so raw, because I want people to know what to expect. I want people to know what to expect and to be okay with when keto doesn't solve, or metabolic therapies, when it doesn't solve all of your problems in 3 months, like it seems like a lot of people are saying. They're going to be like, okay, well, no, I remember Mia's story. I saw her on Casey's podcast, and she told us this could be a longer road, but that first metabolic piece is essential. And so that's why I'm like, I'm not going to sugarcoat my post-keto life. Yes, of course, I'm so happy with my accomplishments, but life is tough. Life has always been hard for me, and it's a hell of a lot easier, but you know, I'm still working at it. This is I think this is a lifelong process, and I always want people to know that.